Welcome back once again. Now let's continue with the part where we left in the last lesson. So we are solving questions on linear equations in two variables, as you can see, and the difficulty level of the question here is high. So question says the graph of 7x plus 2y equal to negative 31 in the xy plane has an x-intercept at a comma 0 and a y-intercept at 0 comma b, where a and b are constants. What is the value of b by a? What they are trying to tell us is, when this graph is plotted in the xy plane, so it will be intersecting the x-axis and y-axis at the values. Suppose if it results in the line like this, it will intersect y-axis at this point. This will be written as 0 comma b, and it intersects the x-axis at this point. It's gonna be a comma 0. So we are asking you to take a value of a and b and do it b by a. It's completely a Desmos part. I don't know why they say the difficulty level is high, because if you type it as it is on the Desmos, you'll be getting like exact answer. What's the equation we have? You can see that equation what has been given to us is 7x plus 2y is equal to negative 31. So this is how the line is approaching. Now this is 0 comma b, this is basically the x-intercept. So value of a here is going to be negative 4.42, I can say, because this is the point where the line is crossing the x-axis. So a value is going to be negative 4.42857. So a here is going to be negative 4.42857. Now what is the value of b? B is going to be this negative 15.5. As you can see that the value of b here, it is second value is going to be negative 15.5. Question asked us what is the value answer which results in b by a. You just need to take b value by a. You just put it as negative 15.5 divided by negative 4.42857. So I can choose an approximate or equivalent. So just do it in the calculator here. Negative 15.5 divided by negative 4.42857. So what I am getting? I am getting 3.5000 something, approximately in fraction I am getting is this. So which one value is representing 3.5, which is a positive? 7 divided by 2, which gives me 3.5. Okay, so that's how the questions can be solved just by using the Desmos. You can just type it as, and you'll be getting an approximate answer. So that is gonna be 7 by 2, or which is also equal to 3.5 something, approximate value. Let's work on next question, which is in terms of graph. It shows that the graph shows the relationship between the number of shares of a stock from company A, X, and the number of shares of stock from company B, Y, that Simon can purchase. Which equation could represent this relationship? See, it's very simple question. I just need to look at to the X and Y intercept, that's it. So Y intercept is the point where the graph is crossing the Y axis. At that point, value of x is gonna be 0. So this will be writing it as 0 comma 40. So x is 0 and y is 40. Similarly, x intercept is the point where the value of graph y is gonna be 0. So it's gonna be 60 comma 0. Now what I supposed to do? Choose the equation. When you put a value of x as 0, you should get a value of y to be 40, and when you put a y as 0, you should get a x value to be 60. Now which option this gonna give you? You can try it one by one. So there is no chance with, like, when you are putting x as 0, I am getting a value of y as y equal to 8 times 0 plus 12. In that case, I am getting y equal to 12 when x equal to 0, but I need y as 40, which is wrong. Now when you put x as 0 and check it up, what happens here? So it's gonna be 12 y equal to 480. So when you divide by 12 on either side, that gives me a value of y here as 480 divided by 12, that's gonna be 40. You'll be getting it as y coordinate as 40. That's true. Now is there any option gives me y as 40 when x is gonna be 0? When I'm saying x is gonna be 0, so ignore this part because this turns to be 0. This is giving me y equal to 8, which is wrong. And when we are putting it as x equal to 0, then it giving me y. In this case, what is the value of y? Y equal to 480 divided by 8, which is gonna be 60. So I need a y-intercept to be 40. So definitely B is the right answer. No need of checking for x, as long you one variable getting satisfied enough. So if there are some cases where the two options giving me the same values of y, then only you have to go for checking x, otherwise no need. So I can go B as the right answer to this question. A gardener buys two kinds of fertilizer. Fertilizer A contains 60% filler material by weight and fertilizer B contains 40% filler material by weight. Together, the fertilizers bought by the gardener contains total of 240 pounds of filler materials. Which equation models this relationship, where X is the number of pounds of fertilizer A and Y is the number of pounds of fertilizer B? So what they are trying to tell us, set up an equation for this situation. As they say, fertilizer A contains 60% of filler material and fertilizer B contains 40% of filler material. And they are also telling us X is the number of pounds where the fertilizer A can have, Y is the number of pounds where the fertilizer B can have. Now set up an equation. 60% of the total weight corresponds to the fertilizer A, which is X pound, plus 40% of total weight corresponds to fertilizer B. The total weight of fertilizer B is Y pound. This combinedly weighing as 240 pounds. That itself is the equation. Which one is the choice? Be careful. Don't go with option D, because it is not in terms of percentage. If they would have written in percentage, I would have gone it. But while converting percentage into number, you have to divide it by 100. So percent itself is by 100. Okay. So that is, while converting that 60% to number, so divide that 60 by 100, that gives me 0.6. So this becomes 0.6x plus 40% becomes 40 divided by 100, that gives me 0.4 y, which is equal to 240. So make sense with option B. They are just telling you to set up an equation for the given information. An artist paints and sells square tiles. The selling price P in dollars of a painted tile is a linear function of the side length of the tiles S in inches as shown in the table below. So you can see that side length S inches and the price P. If the side length is 3 inches, the price is going to be $8, 6 inches $18, 9 inches $28, and so, and this represents a linear relationship. Now question asking you, which of the following could define the relationship between S and P? Simply we have to solve like initial price and also a slope. As they clearly told us, it's a linear relationship or linear function. Whenever you get this kind of situation, create that into a form y equals to mx plus b. In our case, at the place of y we have P, at the place of x we have S. So we should be having it like P equal to ms plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept or the initial value. So how do we find out a slope? So we can write it as, if I am considering this as x1, take it as y1, x2, y2. So we find out the slope as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is y2 it's gonna be 18 minus 8 over x2, which is gonna be 6 minus 3. 18 minus 8 is gonna be 10 and 6 minus 3 is gonna be 3. So the slope is gonna be 10 by 3. So your equation becomes P equals to 10 by 3s plus b. Now just by doing this, check it out which are the options could have Option A has 3x, which is wrong. Option B has the same slope what I'm looking, 10 by 3s could be the answer. Option C could be, because I don't know the y-intercept. Option D cannot be because it's representing slope as 3 by 10. Now how do we get a y-intercept? Y-intercept you will be getting by taking any one pair of x and y values and substitute in this. Let me start with this one again. While finding the y-intercept or initial value, you need to simply substitute. When x is 3, in our case when s is 3, p is gonna be 8. So substitute here, 8 equal to 10 divided by 3 times 3 plus b. So this 3 and 3 get cancelled out, 8 equal to 10 plus b. When you take this 10 to the other side, then it become b equals to -2. So we should go with option C as the right answer, because finally your equation becomes p equals to 10 by 3s -2, because if y-intercept or b value here is going to be negative, so makes sense with C is the right answer to this question. Line L in the xy plane is perpendicular to the line with equation x equals to 2. What is the slope of line L? Nice question. They are asking us line L in the xy plane is perpendicular to the line with an equation x equals to 2. Now what is the slope of line L? So if I am just showing you roughly the graph, whatever they are asking you, x axis, y axis. Now line x equals to 2 is what? If I am saying x equals to 1, x equals to 2, this is the line. Okay, so now this line is at x equals to 2 and the line L is perpendicular to this line. So when I am saying that line L is perpendicular to it, then definitely it should make an angle of 90 degree. In another word, I can also say that this line L should be parallel to x-axis. As long the line L is parallel to x-axis, and we know that slope of the line which are parallel to x-axis or the line which are horizontal is 0. So for this one, slope of the line which is parallel to x-axis is 0. Slope of the line which are parallel to y-axis is undefined. Question asked us what is the slope of the line L? So I must say slope is gonna be 0. We have already discussed about this concept. When do I say slope as positive, slope as negative, slope as 0 or undefined? Please refer to the previous video. You'll find information about it. So definitely I should go with option A as the right answer. I don't know why they say difficulty level is hard, but it's a simple concept. If you know this rule, you'll be getting answer just in 15-20 seconds.